Now this is Georgia law on when an officer may use deadly force, and what we did here is we gave you the code section, and then under each code section we put in bullet points of what we believed were the appropriate facts as to each section of the code section. So the code section begins, peace officers may use deadly force, but it gives 3 instances. The first is when the officer reasonably believes that the suspect possesses a deadly weapon or any object, device, or person which, when used offensively, in other words, it can be a everyday object, but it can be used to inflict serious injury or death. That can be considered a deadly weapon. Under case law in Georgia, which is part of our review, a taser can be considered a deadly weapon for these purposes. So you see that, number one, they were both officers. So that is important. This is not something that citizens can do. Excuse me. Brooks had taken Brosman's taser and had deployed it while he was still in the fight, which gave Rolfe a reasonable belief that he was armed with a deadly weapon. Brosnan described the pain and of being tased, and that Brooks had pointed and deployed the taser at Rolfe multiple times during the time he was running away. An officer can also use deadly force when he reasonably believes the suspect poses an immediate threat of physical violence to the officer or others. With the factors that we looked at here is that Brooks had already overpowered 2 officers and violently brought both of them to the ground.